Hello everybody, and welcome to another game playthrough by Fundamental Games. Today we're doing a game called the Mariana Trench. We're going to dive deep into the depths of the ocean. This game is currently funding on Kickstarter by a gentleman by the name of Tristram Rawson. He's a very talented artist. He's actually the artist who did every piece of art and graphic design in this game by hand. So really kudos to him if you take a look at this. Quite in-depth, pun intended, artwork, and you'll see that as we go through some of the cards. But even the rule book, everything he's designed from start to finish, he's really got a good grasp of what it takes to build something from start to finish. And he's been doing art for board games for quite some time now, and he's been doing art for over 25 years, I believe. But regardless, this is his first venture into making his own tabletop game company called Bright Light Games, and the game design is by a gentleman named Thomas Layton. So the two of them partnered up together and have created this wondrous game. It's a two-player game or a solo game where you're exploring deep into the darkest spot of the earth, the Mariana Trench, doing research, trying to discover what's down there to better humanity or better understand the earth that we live in. Okay, so how does the game work? Because that's probably what you want to know the most if you're going to get this game for yourself. Well, the game comes with cards, tokens, and that's pretty much it. Cards and tokens. Very easy, very portable. If you look here, I think 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 cards plus 3 oxygen tank cards, so 23 cards, and then 16 tokens. So very compact. If you do pick it up, you can take it in a backpack or really sneak it into your suitcase wherever it is you're going and pull this thing out on the go. And why would you want to do that? Well, because it's fun. It's fun packed into a small game. You're going to move your submarine down, challenge your opponents. You've got different play styles you can explore, or there's a solo mode where you're really going against an AI trying to earn the most points. But rather than explain it all to you, we're going to do a sample game. Now the game that I'm playing is going to feature two players. Actually, I have to get the top menu up here in order to do that properly. I think I need the player names as well. There we go. And so we are going to basically try to compete against one another as we dive into the ocean and see who can earn the most research points, both from tokens and from discovering underwater creatures. So the way the game works is when you start, this is the game setup. This is the play mat that doesn't necessarily come with the game unless you go all in and get the neoprene mat. But the layout is the same where you have, whether you have the mat or not. So each player gets a submarine. There's one research ship, and then there are a bunch of random cards here, which are referred to as the, let's zoom in here. There's a Mariana Trench floor card, and then there are 16 research cards is what these are, and they could be ocean creatures of all kinds. And so on each turn, a exploratory ship is able to go down up to 2 spots. So we'll start that and we'll explain the game as we go. So let's say I'm going to play 2 different game styles. I'm going to play with the frogfish. Their game style is going to be to keep diving as deep as they can into the ocean and just try to get these research tokens. That's what this player's goal is going to be. And I'm going to say that this player, they have a different strategy. Their strategy is going to be to find as many creatures as they can and try to build points following this little research venture. Okay. So we're going to start with the frogfish. They're going to go first. We're going to say their whole goal is going to be to dive deep. So they have the option to stop at 1, but they're actually going to stop at the second one. And whichever one they stop at is the one they have to reveal. And again, any ship can move down up to 2 unless they get a power-up or a development. So we'll flip that over, and this card has to face off against a giant octopus. Now, tough thing about cephalids, which is a creature type, is they're a special card. So if you encounter a cephalid, they are dangerous, and as soon as they come around, It says here our sub has to take a rivet token from the supply. Each popped rivet deducts 2 research points from our score at the end of the game. So we're going to plop that rivet token right onto our ship here. So we took some damage. That octopus really wanted to hurt us, but that's okay. Because then we're going to decide what to do with this octopus. Now you could capture it. You can see on the right hand side there's a giant shark in a tank, and that represents that it's a large creature. Your ship, when you first have it, can only fit a small fish size in a tank, so I would need to upgrade to be able to do that. So you have 2 choices when you encounter a research card. You can either use the upgrade ability, which allows you to gain the bottom left hand icon as a add-on to your vehicle, or the right side where you can acquire it as the creature. So I have to acquire it as the left hand side because just of how things worked out there. So we're gonna pop that there, and now basically I am attaching this upgrade to here, we'll change color to red. So in order to play both sides, I have to switch player to player, and I'm going to remove this and attach this upgrade to that ship. Okay, so now this upgrade is attached to the frogfish. So going forward, if I ever do find a big creature, now I can actually hold it because I have that upgrade. I can hold bigger sea creatures now. Okay, so what happens now? Well, this frogfish's turn is over. This goes down, and the next card goes up here, but it stays not revealed. We're going to go on to the shrimp. Now the shrimp, again, I'm playing a different strategy with the shrimp ship, so I'm just going to go down 1 and say I just want to explore 1 because I'm curious of what just popped up. So we explored and we find a giant squid, which is also a cephalod, so we take a damage as well. Now this one is a big fish, and even though I'd love to capture a big fish, I don't have an upgrade. So we're going to switch our team, switch our color, and we are going to do the same thing. Because we can't capture it, we are allowed to attach it as an upgrade. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to switch back to the other team. All right, so go back to the other team, and now this player's turn is over. So all you can do is go down 1 or 2 spots, reveal the card, and do what the card says. So very straightforward gameplay, but there are decisions to be made as to how far you go down and to whether you're going to upgrade or capture, and you'll see that as we go down. But the frogfish, we already talked about it. Their goal is to go down as deep as they can. In this case, they can only go down 2, and then we flip it over. We now have a hammerhead shark. Hammerhead shark is a shark. Pretty obvious there, but the reason those icons matter is because you can get 2 of a kind, or you can get runs, and they can be worth points at the end of the game. So we'll show you that as the game progresses. But when we go here, we have the option to upgrade or the option to collect it. Now, because we already have the larger cargo hold, it says here there are 3 upgrades. So increased hold, increased movement, or sonar. But we can only use each upgrade once, so I can't even take that a second time. So instead of attaching it as an upgrade, I could collect the creature. When you collect the creature, you can see it now goes on the right hand side, and it stays in your cargo hold until you can get back up to your research ship. So now that I have a large fish, or a large creature, I can't fit anymore until I get back to my ship. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Well, we are going to replenish the research cards. Once the deck runs out, the game is going to come close to an end as well. And we're going to change color, go back to the white player, and it'll be the shrimp's turn. Now I'm going to keep playing the same way with the shrimp. I'm going to keep going down 1 at a time and seeing if I can just work on collecting creatures instead of tokens. So we reveal a red jellyfish. On the left you can see there's a sonar, and on the right you can see it's just a small fish that I could capture. And so what does the sonar ability do? Well, if we look here, the sonar uses navigation to see what lies ahead. At any time on your turn, you can look at an unrevealed card in the space above or below and then return it. Sounds like a decent ability, and the game is early, so I could do that, or I could just capture the fish itself and just play all willy-nilly. Let's just collect a creature. These guys are just going to collect creatures. That's their game style. They're just keeping it simple, keeping it real. So their turn is over. Now they can only fit one small fishy, so he's going to have to go back up before he can fit any more. You did see that he has an upgrade there on the left that lets him dive deeper, so he can move further faster. He can move down 3 layers a turn. Anyway, we're going back to the frogfish's turn. So the frogfish moves 1 down, and as soon as you get to the bottom, you're allowed to gain a research token. But then his turn's over because there's nothing to reveal there. So we go back to the shrimp. We're going to say the shrimp is going to go up 1 because we want to send this back to our research chip. Oops, it doesn't even have to go up 1, you can go up 2. So when we go back 2, we can now release the creature and put that over here into our creature pile. Alright, so we're back up here. Does anything else happen when we're up above the ocean floor? Let's take a look, make sure we know for sure. Oxygen tanks research. Each time you research solo, when you service beside your research vessel, you can recharge your sub to protect it from a cephalog attack. You must spend a whole turn beside the vessel. So I don't think I'm ready to do that yet. We just get back to the vessel and we release our creatures immediately. Okay, so we go back to this player's turn, the frogfish, and they want to zoom back up and get rid of this creature and research token that they had, but they still have to encounter things. Now they can take the upgrade because they don't have that yet. So we're going to change color, turn to red, grab that upgrade, and then turn back to white. And then all the cards shift down. They always shift down once one is used, and we put a new one in its place. And then we go back to the shrimp player. The shrimp player is going back down. Now they can go down up to 3. So let's do that. Let's go down 3 and see what's hiding in this mystery spot. We have a pelican eel, just a small fish, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to collect that creature. Alright, I'm going to go back to the frogfish. He really wants to get back up top, but can only move 2 at a time. Now we could have used the sonar to take a sneak peek, but yeah, let's use the sonar ability. So sonar ability says, use your navigation technology. At any time you can reveal any unrevealed card in the space immediately above or below your current position. So, oh, and this has to shift down before we even use that. So, this player can take a sneak peek here and see, do they want that? No, there's no real reason for them to stop there. They can't fit the fish in their hold. They already have the fish upgrade. So, no reason for them to stop. They are going to move up 2 instead. And flip this over. You can see we have an upgrade option available that they don't have yet. So, we're going to attach that upgrade. We're going to detach that upgrade, and then we're going to switch players, change color, and then we will attach that upgrade. Alright, replenish that card. Now we're on to this player's turn. Now this player chose not to get sonar, so they can't use that. And they don't have increased hold, so they're going to move up 1, 2, 3, and they're going to release this creature. So their whole goal is to change color, white, go back here, release the creature, take the creature, put it there. Now you can see here, the way it works is as you release creatures, they kind of stack on one another. And when you get matching values, we'll just layer them like this. So we have 2 of a kind right now. So 2 of a kind, that's going to be worth 2 points at the end of the game. But it starts to multiply as you get more of them. If you get 7, you get 7 research points if you get 4 of a kind. So that's why it's worth it to collect more. Okay, we're going to go back to the frogfish. They're going to move up, and they are also going to release that. But not only that, they're going to get their research tokens. So plop those over here. Alright, and go back to the shrimp's turn. You can move down up to 3. I accidentally grabbed the rivets, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. You're going to keep on going down 3. And you found a big manta ray. Now they can't hold the manta ray because they don't have the large pickup option yet. So we're going to upgrade that onto their ship. So now they've got a bigger haul. So they can get the big fish now. We'll go back to the frogfish. They're going all the way down. 1, 2, 3. Reveal that. It's the red player's turn. And they can't upgrade anymore, so any creature they encounter is going to be an automatic collect creature, assuming they want it, which she does. I'm going to go back to this player. Uh-oh. We have our first oxygen. So how does oxygen work? I think I might have grabbed the wrong card, actually. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is supposed to go here. I might have played that wrong. If I did, I apologize, Tristan. Let's group those back together. Well, what did I do? Oxygen 1, oxygen 2. Those should be the last 3 cards. We'll pull this card and put it here. Okay. Those will be on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so this player is going to, well, they're already near the bottom. Do they want? No, they're just going to take a look at this with their, they don't have sonar, so they can't take a look. They'll move here and have a look at what this one is. It's a tuna fish, it's a small fish. They don't have a small fish attached yet, so they're going to take that. We replace the card. And it's the frogfish's turn again. They're going to dive down to the bottom, grab a research token, and pass the turn back. The shrimp is going to go up here and release its fish. The frogfish's turn is going to go back. They want to get back to the top. So 1, 2, 3. They're allowed to move up. Flip a card, and they can take a small fish. And they already only have 1 small fish card, so they're allowed to have 2. So they're going to grab that and attach the creature. This submarine is loaded. Look at that. Love how that looks when it's all layered together. Alright, so it looks like the one with the research token might be doing a little bit better. But the shrimp is not going to give up. They're going to dive down 2 and take a look at this one. They found a great white shark. They'll grab that. So that's on their creature now. Back to the frogfish. They're going to move up. 1, 2. Sorry, this should be replaced. Go down to our last card before the oxygen now. So these would be the last 3 cards. They're going to be right here. Frogfish releases their token. So they have 2 tokens, and they can release their creature and their creature. Maybe. There. So they release those creatures. Now we go back to the shrimp's turn. They're going to move back up and release their shark. We'll go back to the frogfish's turn. They're going to dive down. 1, 2, 3. Got to reveal this. We have an anglerfish. They can't pick up the upgrade because they already have the upgrades, so they will grab onto that guy. Take that creature for sure. Alright, these are going to move down, and all of a sudden we've got an oxygen tank in the mix. The shrimp can skip that though, and they can just go down 2 and have a look at this. Giant squid, cephalot attack. Means they're going to take one of these tokens here. We'll just have to remember we're at 2 rivets because these ones are stuck on my board. So they're at 2 rivets now. They took a giant squid damage, but they can capture the giant squid because it has a shark icon. They've got room, so they take that. The oxygen moves down. This oxygen goes in its place. The frogfish is going to defy, go down here and grab a research token. Go back to the shrimp's turn. They move up and they release the giant squid into their research pool. Go back to the frogfish. Got their token. They're ready to go back up. 1, 2, 3. So what happens when you grab a oxygen? Let's take a look. Oxygen tanks. When the oxygen tanks are revealed, this indicates the game is ending. There are 3 cards. When the 3rd tank card is added to the water column, the game immediately ends. So we have 2 tanks. Now, even though there's a tank there, we don't have to pick up the tank, so that guy is safe. So the shrimp says, okay, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to grab this whale shark, put it into my tank, which is going to make this go down, and the final oxygen tank will go here. So what happens? Let's read that again. When the third tank card is added to the water column, the game immediately ends. So by doing that, this player has triggered the end of the game before this player could drop off its research token. Does that matter? Let's find out. We're going to go to end of game scoring. So at the end of the game, immediately ends when the final oxygen tank card was revealed. Whereas up here it says when it was added to the water column. So between the two of them, I think when it's revealed, it gets added to the water column anyway, so the two are the same thing. So then all subs surface immediately and unload any creatures and research tokens they are carrying. So we both get to go back to our surface. This one releases its creature, and this guy goes up, and they also release their creature. So there we go. So then what happens? Well, for each research token, we get +2 RP, and for each popped rivet, we get -2 RP. So this player gets +2, but then loses 2 for this rivet. So there is a rivet on here, but I can't remove it for some reason, so I'm just going to say that that one is no good. And then this player has a rivet token, so it's going to lose 2 points as well. Okay. And then next we have each individual creature could be scored in both a set of different types as a run and for how many of the same class you collected. So you can see here a little example of 4 of a kind and a run. So let's take a look. When we layer all these cards together, kind of have to do it in a special way. So I try to layer them so they don't go on top of one another. Alright. So you can see, oops, I'm pushing the wrong button. So for this player, ignore that research token. So they have 3 of a kind eels, and 3 of a kind is worth 3 of a kind is worth 4 points. So they have 4 points for these little fishies, and then they have 2 of these guys, which are 2 of a kind. So they've got 4, 5, 6, and that's all the points you get. You don't get any points for single icons. So they have 6 points there, plus their other 2 points for their research token that they didn't lose. So they've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points total for the frogfish. 8 points. Okay. And then we go back to the shrimp and see how many the shrimp's points has. Now, they didn't get any research tokens, but they did suffer a rivet. So whatever points they get out of these cards, they're going to lose 2. So let's pile all these cards together and see what we end up with. We got some extra cards, so we might have an advantage there. Put them all extra. So we've got 2 sharks. We'll just kind of layer all these and see what we end up with. Alright, so we've got 3 of a kind for whales, which is worth 4 points. We've got only 1 cephalod, no points. 2 sharks, so that's going to get us 2 points. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points, but then we lose 2 points for a rivet, so we have 6 points. Whereas this guy had, I believe, 8 points total, because they had 4, 5, 6, plus the research token was 8, and they already lost their rivets. So turns out the frogfish, who dug deep into the Mariana Trench, dived down there twice, risked their very lives and souls for the pursuit of humanity and understanding the earth, was the victor over the shrimp, who just kept diving a little bit in, dipping his toes in the water, see what's down there, and then bring it back to his ship in a very consumer-ish way instead of a research-ish way. So there you have it. That is one full game, mono a mono, of the Mariana Trench. So again, this is live on Kickstarter now by Tristan Rawson and Bright Light Games, game designed by Thomas Layton, and we'll just talk about 3 things I like about it. So first off, I mean, it cannot be denied, the visuals of this game are outstanding. If you take a look, I'm sure you saw as I was playing, but the images of the sharks, the images of the ships, the tokens, the graphic design, all very, very, very well done. So great job to Tristan, another stellar project. He's got a very particular art style, and it always stands out. His vector graphics and his colors always stand out well. So that is point number 1 that I like about the game, is just the visuals of the art itself. Point number 2 is the design of the game. So if you look at it, diving into the trench, very thematic. You're always working down the column, up and down, going back up to your ship, going back down. And so that is a cool mechanic, just the visuals of diving into the sea. And then the third one I like about this game is the layered icons, where your ship builds out to the left and what you capture builds out to the right. It's a really cool layering effect with the dotted lines to help identify where to slide the card to. And you can always see what's going on. So I like that aspect of it. So again, very easy game to pick up, play, carry around. I'm sure once you have it on the table, if you're at a restaurant or hotel, you know, when the pandemic comes to an end and you can do that stuff without fear again, it will certainly catch some eyes on the table. Or if you're playing at home with your loved ones, it's just a great visual to look at. So check it out. It's available now on Kickstarter. Some stretch goals. I believe he's got an expansion that's already built in as a stretch goal to the creatures or monsters of the deep. And then there's a special Captain Nemo ship that's going to be coming along with the game, from what I remember. So have a look. I'll put a link in the video notes. And thank you for watching another Fundamental Games game playthrough.